The year is 1348, and Europe is dying. Not slowly, not silently, but violently. Every sunrise reveals new corpses on the streets. Every church bell tolls for someone you knew. Every prayer seems weaker than yesterday. People do not ask, will we survive, anymore. They ask something far more terrifying. Who will be next? And as the smell of death fills the air, thick, sour, unforgettable, you begin to understand. This is not famine. This is not war. This is something else. Something the world has never seen. Whispers spread faster than hope. A plague is coming. It devours whole cities. No one escapes. And now, it has reached your world. Life used to feel predictable. Seasons changed. Lords collected taxes. Children grew up. Marriages happened. Markets filled the streets. Then the rumors came. First from the east. Strange deaths in faraway lands. Merchants collapsing on the roads. Ships arriving with no living crew. Most people ignored it, until travelers fleeing Italy reached your region. Their clothes torn, their faces pale, their stories unbelievable. "Half of Florence is gone," one man whispers. "You cannot bury the dead fast enough," says another. The priests bless the bodies from a distance. They are too afraid to come close. At night you lie awake. The silence outside feels wrong. You sense something approaching. Something invisible. Something unstoppable. It begins suddenly. A neighbor collapses while carrying water. A merchant's child develops black spots under her arms. A farmer vomits blood in the middle of the road. No one understands the symptoms. No one knows the cause. But everyone sees how fast it spreads. Within days, entire families are coughing, sweating, shaking. The priest stops visiting homes. He only prays from the church door. Soon the most feared sign appears. The buboes, huge, swollen boils, under the arms, between the legs, on the neck. They pulse with heat. They stink of rot. And they mean death is only days away. Men who survive sword wounds now die from a fever. Women who survive childbirth now die in their sleep. Children who were laughing yesterday now lie still. Your village starts to shrink. Not from war or hunger, but from something you cannot even see. The rhythm of life collapses. The marketplace is empty. No bread, no vegetables, no meat. Farmers are sick or gone. The blacksmith's forge is cold. No one needs horseshoes. No one travels anymore. The church bells never stop ringing. Not for weddings, not for celebrations, only for death. People fear the air itself. They walk with cloths over their faces soaked in vinegar. They burn herbs day and night. They carry amulets, relics, bones of saints, hoping for protection. Superstition replaces reason. Fear replaces community. Some families barricade their doors and refuse to help even their closest friends. Others wander the streets screaming that God is punishing them. And every night, you hear carts rolling through the darkness, carrying the dead. Strangers begin arriving in town. The first is a man in a long black cloak, wearing a terrifying mask with a bird-like beak, a plague doctor. Inside the beak is a mix of herbs meant to protect him from the poisoned air. He examines the sick with a stick so he doesn't have to touch them. People pray he can save them. Most of the time, he cannot. Then come the Flagellants, men marching shirtless through the streets, whipping their backs until blood runs down their legs. They chant that the plague is God's punishment. And only suffering can cleanse humanity. Some villagers join them, desperate for answers. Others hide behind their doors, frightened by their madness. Europe is losing not only people, but its sanity. You wash your hands in wine. You hold hot stones to your chest. You rub onions on your skin. You sleep with herbs under your pillow. Not because any of it works, but because doing something feels better than doing nothing. You avoid strangers. You avoid gatherings. You even avoid sunlight. Some say the heat spreads the poison. Every cough makes your heart race. Every sneeze feels like a warning. And when the wind blows from the direction of the graveyard, you hold your breath. This is not living. This is waiting. Waiting for a threat you cannot see. Waiting for a disease that chooses its victims at random. Waiting for your own name to be whispered next. It starts with a chill, then a fever, dizziness, a sudden ache deep in your bones. You know the symptoms. You have seen them too many times. Your family gathers around you. not too close, but close enough to pray. Soon the pain becomes unbearable. Your heartbeat feels wrong. Your breath burns. Then you feel it. A swelling under your arm, small at first, then growing. A bubo. Your family cries. You don't, because you already know what it means. Half of Europe will die from this disease. You may be one of them. You close your eyes and whisper a prayer, not for survival, but for an end to the pain. Days pass in a blur, and then you wake up, weak, exhausted, but alive. You survived what millions did not. You step outside to a world transformed. Houses are abandoned, fields are empty, shops are boarded up. But slowly, painfully, life begins again. Farmers demand higher wages, because few are left. Peasants gain power for the first time. Old feudal systems begin to collapse. Science starts to replace superstition, and the seeds of the modern world are planted. The plague killed nearly half of Europe. But from the ashes, a new age begins. You survived the Black Death. You lived through the most terrifying years in human history. Not because you were strong, but because history decided to let you live. And as you look upon the ruins of your world, one question echoes in your mind. If something like this returned, would we survive again? Fade out. Black screen. Silence.